Happy New Year's, my dudes! Okay, gentlemen, well, here we are actually doing some work in the new River Junction. If you recall the last episode, I'll link that somewhere on the screen up above there, where you can go and check that out if you haven't. And hey, while you're checking out the channel and its contents, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button there for me? Pal, buddy, sport, I don't know, whatever. It'd be cool if you helped out. It's a nice little moral donation. You know, it's not going to cost you anything. Be a nice way to tell Daddy you love him. So what we're doing is we're taking the distillery, which is something that's kind of been consistent from phase 1 to, well, up until now. The distillery is going to be kind of the moonshiny bar and grill, like alcohol serving, one of the alcohol serving restaurants in, dine-in restaurants in the park, which I think is a necessity at any theme park. Definitely a lot of drunken days at Busch Gardens, riding roller coasters. We'll leave it at that. And they're good times. They are very good times, okay? When you're of age and all those things. Drink legally and responsibly, boys, but we're getting sidetracked. You can tell the path is very tight coming up through here between the distillery and the mighty Appalachian Loop Machine Station, which is going to have the arcade and everything. We actually build this iron kind of like overpass to support part of the building, just so it's like, it's a tight squeeze, but we wanted to get the whole width of the path in there, I guess. So that's what you can see that we're working on here, but kind of just filling in the smaller details in this little nook and cranny of the park. I'm noticing that's how we're doing this project now. It's like big layout idea, just, very bare buildings, bare bone stuff here and there, kind of mess with the terrain, get the ideas down, and then we hone in on some little nooks and crannies with the details and such. So that's what we're doing here. It's a tight fit, and I wanted that, I want there to be kind of parts of the park, because if you look at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which again is a humongous inspiration for this so steezy Planet Coaster Park, is they have a lot of nooks and crannies, like when you're passing through the German section right under Alpengeist. It's a very tight squeeze, so it's kind of had that vibe, I guess, in mind when I was doing this build. But I was trying to think, like, do I want to line it with buildings, make it like an alleyway? But that just doesn't really, fit with what we're going for, the aesthetic here. So we ultimately decided on building that iron kind of. It'd be a newer thing to kind of get a post out of the middle of the path so you have room. But we'll go over all this in the real-time overview, which of course is going to be timestamped down below, per usual, for your convenience and for, engagement and click-through rating, SEO, indexing, all those analytic-y things that get these stupid little videos out to the proles. So what we ultimately decided on, opposed to doing the alleyway kind of thing with a bunch of facades, is I wanted to make an outdoor kind of seating section for the distillery with a stage. And this was a totally happy accident. I had the idea in mind that I wanted to do it, but I was honestly just going to rip some bare bone looking stagey stuff from the workshop and just place that down in there and call it a night. But I saw the coaster barn door piece in the scenery tab when I was just browsing, and that's what we used to kind of give the woody barn stage aesthetic to the stage there. So that was a night I kind of put that down. I was like, that could actually fit. That might actually fit. So we build the stage around that, and it kind of gives it a cool little thing. But again, these time lapses, I don't film everything that we do. There's a lot more done in the real-time overview. So again, description, comment section, go check that out and click it and check out the real-time overview, because honestly, I'm probably not going to get around to filming that today, and we'll be in such a whack. It's just been a weird day. It's the second day of 2021. We made it, boys, but I'll spare you the 2020 sucked cliches. Really out of the loop today, roller coaster pun. Oh, Hot Shot. How about that? So Hot Shot is in the works. I think I'm still going to do a dedicated video and episode to where we just, make that a nice scene and have all the cool scenery pieces and all the, the ambience and aesthetics there for your viewing pleasure. But that's still there, and we'll go over we'll do some tegidcam views so you can get some, sight lines and all that stuff. Good idea for what the aesthetic is in this park. And honestly, I think I might get a phase 2 in the works park file out on the workshop for you guys. I think that would be kind of cool, because I always do these videos and then I go back after I've completely finished editing them and I do like the final watch through, and I'm like, wow, I could have mentioned that, I could have mentioned that, could have brought that up, and it's just completely balls to the walls, off the cuff, shit. So I think it'd be nice if I had updated, as the videos come out, I'll maybe put like an updated version of the park out on the workshop so you have an idea and you can go and check it out if you want and get a better idea for what we're talking about in the video. Because again, I miss stuff. I'm only human, and that's why robots and our slow evolution into mechanical bodies and uploaded consciousness is going to be a very interesting time because, well, humans make errors, computers don't. I hope you had a good New Year. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season, whatever it is you celebrate, wherever it is you're celebrating. I really do hope prosperity, love, and all those good energies manifest within your life. You know, we're really just a bunch of cosmic beings full of, you know, negative and positive energy occupying biological space. That is the vibe we are going for all year, gentlemen. Just good ones. 2020 we have a pandemic. 2021 we have the robot war. Buckle up, boys. Okay, gentlemen, well, here we are in the real-time overview, checking out the new River Junction section of Appalachian Adventure. And so what you saw in the time-lapse, this over here, this little haunted mansion ride, yeah, I got a ton of footage and already a video in the works for that, I pinky promise. We'll go over that in its own video, because, well, it's quite a lot, and there's quite a storyline behind it, but it's kind of always something I wanted to incorporate into this park. I just never really, you know, could find a useful space for it, so I figured why not piggyback off the building we already had, which is, well, this is just a holding title, you know, holding name Adventure Theater. I'm thinking of something like just the Appalachian, I don't know, something very simple, but Adventure Theater, kind of tacky, it's not going to stay. But let's go ahead and start at the front, so we know where we're at here. So, of course, we got Settlers Square, Skyrocket 2, all that good stuff. Go ahead and link those videos in the description down below if you haven't checked them out already. You will go ahead and go all the way down Settlers Square into this little carousel plaza right in here with Wagon Wheel, the Ferris wheel for the park. And then you can either hit the cut straight under the mighty Appalachian Loop machine, the lift, big Loch Ness Monster vibes there, of course. Or you can go ahead and hang a left into the new River Junction section. This whole plaza area is going to get cleaned up. I actually have started gutting. I started to gut the carousel. We're actually going to be doing a kind of a same kind of overall vibe and aesthetic. We're going to keep the wooden theme going, but I just felt like the old one we had was a little bit too much. It was a little bit too bulky and such, so I wanted to slim that down but still keep some of the, you know, the wooden, you know, kind of fairsy aesthetic with these lights and such. So we'll find a way to tie all that in and make it look nice, whether that gets incorporated into a video or not in terms of time-lapsing. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. So you can hang a left over here into the new River Junction section. All this will get cleaned up. We'll have a nice little entrance sign and such. And we reworked the terrain here. Hotshot, the park's RMC, launched RMC. It's not testing right now because there is a, I don't know if, well, I don't want to say a bug because I don't want to knock the mod's creator or anything because it's so life-saving, but I am using the Planet Coaster mod. If you don't know what that is, I will link something in the description down below that kind of explains that and goes over. But you can basically launch any tracks ride, any roller coaster you want, and we are doing that here. Going to have a true launched RMC, but there's a way. It's hard to explain, but the launches it right back down the track. There's a way you have to connect the launch pieces and then create a second layer of track to make it look like there's actually track there, because the launch sections do show up invisible. But that's all stuff we can go over in a designated video for Hotshot and all that stuff. But New River Junction, it's really just gonna be loosely themed to the New River Valley section of Appalachia where I currently reside, and I kind of wanted to throw in a little bit more of an Americana aesthetic, what with the old school garage and stuff, very lightning rod-esque. So this is very much a very rough layout and a work in progress, but we will get to this in a separate video like I've aforementioned. So you enter the New River Junction. I'm thinking this is from the workshop, this building, and I will link it in the description down below, but it kind of fits well. I wanted to have another building over here, but nothing that, you know, interferes with these lines of sight right here, which, you know, is really something I love with this game and I love to incorporate. So I wanted to make sure we still had a cool view of the Arrow Looper along with Bigfoot ominously hanging out there in the distance and such. And I think now might actually be a good time to go into tegidcam so we can maybe check those out with better resolution. I am on top of a building. The key here is to kind of be looking exactly where you want to go. Boom. Much better. Okay, so we come around the Carousel Plaza where we have the Ferris wheel and the carousel, along with some cool lines of sights of Bigfoot and the mighty Appalachian Looping Machine. So yeah, I even pick up on new lines of sights in this game after I build for a while. I'm like, oh, I didn't even ever realize that. So it's cool. It's like like an actual little theme park, I guess. Oh, that is sweet. We'll definitely do some cinematic videos where we just have a bunch of sight lines and such. So again, hotshot will be designated video up here on the right, this workshop building, not impeding on the or infringing on these lines of sight too much. Oh, that's awesome. I think Bigfoot is stuck, come to think of it. Word, it's not supposed to stop up there. So, but I wanted this little building right here, and I think we're probably just going to do like an old-timey photo kind of thing. We'll incorporate interiors, rough outlines and stuff like that, just, you know, for added realism stuff. I'm kind of getting in more or less my building now. Instead of just building the facades, I try to leave room inside for, you know, interiors and such, much like right here. So here's the brand new distillery, and it's the same building we had, just with the very nice facelift. I think it works very well. And this building was actually inspired by, I want to say the Grand Exposition Hall is the name of it at Silver Dollar City. I'll put it up on the screen here. This was very heavily inspired by that, just, you know, the large, you know, steep angles on the roof and the big overhang and such. And this is going to be a sit-in restaurant with a bar section in here. We kind of got it laid out already, but needs a lot of work and stuff to kind of tie it all in and sell it. But we're working on it. You come out here to the patio where we will have the stage and all that good stuff. We need to put some supports up here and tie everything together. You get some cool views of the haunted house and the Old Dominion drop line, the park's free fall tower. But this is all stuff that I will go over in a separate video. I pinky promise, my dudes. So we come up here, but we got ahead of ourselves. So instead of cutting through the distillery, if you were going to just go ahead and just keep walking down this path right here, you'll notice this overhang, which I went over in the time lapse, but it's a kind of this little kind of offshoot of the mighty Appalachian Loop Machine station would have originally had a pole right here, like a wooden post, but over time, I guess management was maybe like, hey, we need to, you know, maybe not make it so cluttered in here because it's already a really tight squeeze. And that was entirely intentional, but it's already a very tight squeeze. So they're like, hey, maybe let's just build this iron girder and maybe support that, you know, protruding section a little bit and widen this path. But really, other than this little nook and cranny, like, there's not a whole lot more that we did do in the New River Valley, you know, section. This is a workshop train station, but I just kind of wanted to have a layout, general kind of shell for where a building's going to go. So that'll, you know, be its own thing at one point in the future. But really, other than just this nook and cranny with the Aero Coaster station and the distillery, there's not a whole lot more to go over. It was just really kind of an effort to tie in a lot of little details into one little nook and cranny, so we kind of get an overall idea for what this park is going to feel like. And that's kind of what we've been doing throughout. We have it done over here with these aqueducts and such leading up into the Blue Ridge Bicentennial section of the park. Kind of just, you know, laying out ideas and then going in and filling in, you know, the smaller details and everything. So we will go ahead and address this matter in the next episode, which will be relatively soon, actually. So be on the lookout for that. I do apologize, it's not a whole hell of a lot to show off today, but the park is getting there. If we zoom out entirely, it looks it's looking like a fairly developed theme park. So we have a lot to do and a lot to go over, but we will get there. Damn it, we will get there. So a little bit of work here in Minetown also. The Minetown Mothman, the Aero suspended coaster, that I've always mentioned this guy named Greg who is going to come in and do some scenery and scenes and stuff in here, and well, he did. So I got to get him on the mic and we have to get this video out. But Minetown is coming together. Handyman Hills is really coming together here, and we will have all that out for you guys within the coming, you know, insert unknown period of time here. So again, I do thank you guys for sticking around and checking out this series. It is nice, and it's good to know that people do enjoy these things, and there is, you know, somewhat of a worth putting in some effort into making these videos the best they can be for you guys. Go ahead, stay healthy, kill your New Year's resolutions, have a great day, have a great year, just have a great life, dude. You only get one of them, it's not that hard. But in the meantime, I'm going to shut up, I'm going to keep working on this park, and I'm going to get some more stuff out for you guys, okay? I love you very much, you are very handsome, and you are very intelligent, okay? Don't forget those things, and stay kicking ass, my dude. And subscribe in the meantime. Alright, I love you guys, I'll see you here in a few weeks. Or days, I don't know, it'll be soon. Bye-bye.